Cardinals baseball from downtown St. Louis and Busch Stadium. A nice night and a big crowd expected. Over 40,000 once again. Game 2 of this 4-game set between the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Mets. Behind Chris Carpenter, the Cardinals took Game 1 last night. And with my partner Al Verbosky, I'm Dan McLaughlin. It will be Jay So. He is 7-1 for the New York Mets this season. And he'll go against Jason Marquis, who has all of a sudden become one of the top pitchers in this rotation.
Well, it's amazing, but all of a sudden he got the not an emergency start because he had a little bit of advance warning there in Washington, but he goes out and throws a 2-hit shutout. Really turned the season around, and then he duplicates the feat almost Sunday at Houston with a 5-hit shutout. But he's been outstanding, and really he's gone back to very simplistic basics. Go back and throw the sinker, try and keep the ball down, and just let his good arm action work for him.
That 4-key matchup showed you 18 innings for Jason Marquis in the last 2 games. He's allowed only 7 hits in those 18 innings. Full lineup tonight that includes Larry Walker, healthy enough to play, and of course that man, Mr. Pujols, with 2 dingers last night. More to come. Another big crowd has filed in here at Busch Stadium as Jose Reyes will lead it off for the Mets. They still believe they have a chance in the wild card. A huge loss for them last night. And Jason Marquis will get the start for St. Louis. Tonight, due to the Cardinals game, FSM Midwest cannot bring you the benefit concert, shelter from the storm, a concert for the Gulf Coast hurricane relief effort. As Reyes looks at a strike, you can still participate in this nationwide mission by calling 866-48-NOW, 866-424-3669, by going to redcross.org or salvationarmyusa.org. Every contribution makes an impact. We'll remind you about those places to go and call throughout the telecast tonight. 0-2 on Jose Reyes. And it's a ground ball on an 0-2 mistake and a pitch that was up, and it looked like, Al, that was the curveball that Reyes hit up the middle. So Reyes picks up a leadoff hit, just like last night against Chris Carpenter. And we're underway. It's 90 degrees here in downtown St. Louis. Miguel Cairo will take a ball on the outside corner. So Reyes a leadoff hit, short lead at first. Of course, one of the plays that set the tone in game number 1 was Yadier Molina gunning him down at second base. What potentially could have been a run-scoring inning for the Mets wound up not being the case.
Jason Marquis, as you said, looked like he got a breaking ball up, and he's been winning with that sinker. Like that one.
It's 2 balls and 1 strike. To look at Marquis' numbers this year, brought to you by Advance Auto Parts, a record of 11-13. 100 career starts for Marquis, and he's 40-35.
Key thing for him is those back-to-back shutouts. His first ever complete game shutout against Washington, followed up with a complete game 4-1 win last Sunday against Houston. And hopefully he can build off of that. He kind of hit a wall, but he started to go back to simplistics and use the sinker. He's got a good one.
Miguel Cairo taps this one foul. The former Cardinal had a long visit with Tony La Russa. Chance to play at second base with the Kaz Matsui banged up for the better part of this season. Cairo, when he was in St. Louis, a very valuable player for Tony La Russa off the bench, understood his role.
And you're going to play for Tony, you got to have versatility, and Miguel has that. You know, he became the 131st third baseman in Mets history on April 21st at Florida. How about that, 131?
2-2 pitch. Hit out to right. That will be taken by Walker. He makes the catch with 2 hands. Reyes back to first. Take a look at the Mets lineup against Jason Marquis tonight. This is brought to you by Dodge. It'll be Jose Reyes, Miguel Cairo, and Carlos Beltran now will dig in. Then Cliff Floyd, David Wright, Mike Jacobs, Victor Diaz, Ramon Castro, and Jay Stowe. He's 7-1 on the year.
Stowe's been pitching well since he came back to the big leagues. He's 5-0 during that time.
And he's 7-1 overall. He's pitched out of the bullpen at different points in times in his career with New York.
When he gets to the mound, we'll talk a little bit about his transition, what he's done to improve his success.
National League wild card race. New York is 5.5 games out, so every game now down the stretch crucial to pick up wins. Cardinals' magic number is down to 10.
Houston and Roger Clemens slated to pitch at Milwaukee tonight.
A good sinker. You think about a possible double play every time that Marquis is on the mound in this situation. 0-2 the count. And that start against Washington, Al, it was Dave Duncan who time and again has said to Jason Marquis, throw the sinker, make it your #1 pitch, and just keep pounding it. And if they pound you, then change it up. But that has not been the case in his major league career. He's had that very good sinker, and for the most part can exclusively go with it as Beltran flies to his counterpart at center, Edmonds.
That's the one thing, and I never threw a sinker, but you know, if you got a good one that moves as much as his did, I asked Duncan, why can't he just throw that exclusively? And he said, yes, that and a changeup, but not the curve and slider he wants to throw.
Auto tire around the horn. Edmonds in center, Taguchi in left, Walker in right, Nunez, Eckstein, Luna, and Pujols on the infield. Yadier Molina's behind the plate. I think we've taken notice that Jose Reyes has had a short lead at first and has not challenged Yadier Molina here in this first inning.
50 stolen bases, but he was caught for the 12th time last night.
That's strike one on Cliff Floyd. Now Floyd took Marquis deep at Shea Stadium twice earlier this year.
Yeah, he pitched a very good ball game against the Mets, but it was Floyd and those 2 solo home runs did all the damage and beat him.
No balls and a strike as Marquis is working from the stretch here in the first. Another fastball and a sinker just misses outside.
And you talk about the combination of Marquis and Molina stopping a good base stealer like Reyes. Lou Brock's in attendance here, and I'll guarantee you, if he was thrown out last night, he would already have tried to steal tonight, because he would not let any of that negativity creep into his mind.
1-1 pitch. He's not going again. This one is popped up left side, and Nunez will watch it get out of play. Got a 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cliff Floyd struck out last night to make the final out against Ray King. You can see the defense is Edmonds a little deeper than normal. Floyd has got good power, 29 home runs.
And shading a little bit towards right field is Edmonds.
Marquis, a New York native, 2-time state champ in baseball. So he grew up following and loving the Yankees more so than the Mets. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a good pitch, last one.
See if Reyes wants to run here. He's not. It's a broken bat. Eckstein just steps on the bag, and we are through the first half inning here at Busch Stadium. There's no score. Cardinals come in with a record of 89-52. It's a different lineup, it seems like, every single night out for Tony La Russa. Brought to you by Dodge. David Eckstein, So Taguchi, and Albert Pujols. In this first inning, Edmonds will bat cleanup, then Walker. Good to see him play back-to-back nights. The Cardinals will have Nunez, Molina, Luna, and Jason Marquis. Fine hitting pitcher against Jay So. His numbers are brought to you by Rico. Look at the ERA of 1.79. Like you said, Al, this is a guy that really has turned around his season and maybe his career this year.
Well, he's 5-0 and 1.70 and 8 earned runs of 42+ innings and 6 starts since being recalled from North Pole.
And you mentioned that there is a big difference with him.
Yeah, he basically was a fastball changeup pitcher, changeup being his #1 pitch, but now he's added a curveball and a cutter. And so he has a lot of weapons to keep him off his changeup or the fastball.
That one is hit deep in the short. Long throw for Reyes offline. Base hit for David Eckstein, and his hitting streak continues.
Nice way to do it is extend it to 14 games with the first at bat. Takes away the suspense, and maybe you can get an extra and multi-hit game. There's a breaking ball there. This time it's pulled through. Nice play to get there, and you can see some of the arm strength and the talent that Reyes has go a little bit offline.
Something that is a little interesting in this lineup is that Sho Taguchi is hitting second, and Tony La Russa has gone back-to-back with the left-handed hitters Edmonds and Walker, and they've dropped Walker down in the lineup to the 5th spot, and Taguchi is batting second.
I think part of that thinking is you got a guy that can hit behind runners, he can advance runners, whether it's a sacrifice, but in a lot of cases they would pitch hit for Walker. As you get deeper into a ball game and you wanted to, you know, not that he can't hit a left-hander, but you know, it's one way to kind of force you to rest him and maybe make him available for more games.
Good to just see him going back-to-back.
Sure.
1-0 pitch to Sho Taguchi. Eckstein was running, and that's a fair ball. Past third and past right. Eckstein is going to be stopped at third base. It's a double for Sho Taguchi. It's second and third. Nobody out for Albert Pujols. That one just snuck by David Wright over there at third base.
About 38 members of Japanese media here. So not only Matsui, who's not playing, but So and Sho Taguchi. So you know Taguchi was very happy about this hit and run. Right on the bag it appeared. And then down in the left field, and with nobody out, they wanted to hold up Eckstein. And what better guy to have Albert and have a chance to pad his numbers. But you don't want to run into an out at home plate. So give the man, the 3-letter man, and we don't say it three times or say it with 3 other competitors or 2 other competitors on the same team. He's the man on this team.
MVP candidate Albert Pujols. First pitch to him. Chops it right side. That'll be an RBI. Pujols pleased with that. That's number 107. And Eckstein scores easily to make it 1-0. Around the horn. Look at the Cardinals or the Mets defense. Floyd, Beltran, and Diaz in the outfield. Wright, Reyes, Cairo, Jacobs on the infield, and Castro's behind the plate.
Albert just showed you don't always have to get a base hit to get an RBI. And with 1 out, the runner at third, Jim could do the same. Or the sacrifice fly.
RBI number 107 for Pujols.
25 home runs, 78 RBIs for Jim.
Infield is drawn in for Edmonds. 0-1 pitch. Woo, good cut. 0-2. RBI numbers have been down a little bit for Jimmy. With 78 on the year, but he does have, again, 25 home runs.
Surprising to me is that just a .256 average against right-handed pitching.
Ball and 2 strikes. Tom Mee, our director, was showing you our defense. They are deep and straight away. Infield in. Walker on deck. 1-2 the count. And a swing and a miss, a big strikeout early on in this game, and now it's going to take a 2-out hit from Walker. Numbers on Walker this year, hitting .268, 12 home runs, and 42 RBIs.
Hit safely in 17 of 28 games since June 29th at a .322 clip and .299 at home.
Walker out to left. This is Cliff Floyd. He handles it easily. The Cardinals strand a runner at third, but they do pick up an early lead. 1-0 St. Louis. Central standings, and you take a look at the Cardinals, of course, magic number is at 10. The Astros leading in the wild card race by a half game over the Marlins, and the Phillies 2.5 games back. Nationals 4, the Mets 5.5 games out in the wild card. Going to be awfully tough for Willie Randolph to get his squad over the hump and above all those teams. Only 5.5 games out, not much time left, and a bunch of teams to climb over.
And a big series for Philadelphia again as they're hosting Florida, losing 4-1 after 2.5. How about Phillies? They had the lead and then they lost 3 straight and 12 consecutive games to the Astros, who leapfrogged over them.
It's not only losing 3 straight, but how they did it. Billy Wagner gave up 2 of those games
to his former team, and he had a chance for the save. Well, I think he had the save and blew that, and then he blew the win. And Biggio hit a 3-run home run off him.
Out to right, Larry Walker for round number 1.
Memory serves me right, the Phillies can't beat Florida either. Atlanta is up in Washington, where they've tied the score after 4, 2-2.
Mike Jacobs will be the hitter. Playing first base tonight. Of course, this lineup is without Mike Piazza, future Hall of Famer. And the first pitch is fouled away. Another huge crowd tonight on this Friday night.
Jacobs hit a pinch hit 3-run homer in his first major league at bat. He became the 4th Met to hit a home run in first at bat.
Cardinals have sold out 39 games this season, including 14 consecutive. Drawn over 40,000 in attendance to each of the last 31 home games. Make it 32 after tonight.
Drawn over 3 million. They did that on Wednesday night.
3rd team to do so this season. The Yankees have done it, and Los Angeles has done it as well. And it's a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Marquis.
As soon as we start talking about attendance, look what happens.
Our buddy Joe Strom walks in the booth.
Hey, we got to help out Joe Strom in the ticket office. The Pittsburgh series, we're in jeopardy of losing that streak of 40,000 and above.
Victor Diaz will be the hitter. 2 outs, nobody on. That's a line shot into right, a 2-out base hit. Walker over to get it. Off his knee, it looked like. He'll come up gunning to second, not in time. So an error on Walker. Tonight, due to the Cardinals game, FSN Midwest cannot bring you the concert benefit, Shelter from the Storm, a concert for the Gulf Coast hurricane relief effort. You can still participate in this nationwide mission by calling 866-4AID-NOW, 866-424-3669, or by going to redcross.org or salvationarmyusa.org. Every contribution makes an impact. Single E9 on that play.
It's the first error of the year for Walker.
Chance for Castro. Tie this ball game up. The Cardinals took a lead with Pujols RBI in the first inning. Castro was 0 for 3 last night, former Marlin.
Last 14 starts, he's hit .265, 9 runs scored, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 7 walks, and 12 RBIs. Getting the bulk of the playing time with Piazza on the disabled list. And there's a balk there.
Yep. Marquis is saying he stepped off.
Yeah, he's saying he stepped off, but it was such an unusual motion. You're going to get called a balk every time. That is the 3rd balk he's had this year. Watch him. He kind of moves a little bit fidgety, and then, you know, he kind of tries to fake that he balked, but that leg really didn't go backwards.
And it's 3-0 on Castro, and again, the Marquis falls behind.
Still the same situation. You got the batter here with 2 outs. Get him out. They can't score.
That's ball 4, but you do have the 9th place hitter, Jay So, digging in.
Looking over.
Not the worst idea right there.
Well, you'd like to think that he's good enough that you retire the 8th place hitter and then have 1 out in the 9th or the next frame. Like the bench, probably Dave Duncan trying to tell him something.
Grounder, Eckstein steps on the bag. Mets strand 2. Cardinals lead it by a run.
Thank those great Cardinal Hall of Famers for their service, and a lot of those guys, they're all getting their full autograph fee, and so a lot of that money is going directly to those Hall of Famers, so it's a great way to say thank you to them. And I know you and I are both going to purchase one because it's such a unique item.
I was over at Stan the Man Inc. the other day.
965-3000, Stan the Man Inc.
That's right, 965-3000. Our buddy Dick Zitzman was over there, and
that's 314 though.
That's right. He was kind enough to donate some items to my golf tournament, including a Stan the Man signed jersey.
Boy, Stan, you get one of the old ones. Aren't those neat?
The black bat.
Yeah, the Mitchell, I guess they are.
Mitchell and Ness is the
Ness.
Provider of that jersey. It's the retro jerseys. You can see the Cardinal uniform now. You've got the birds on the bat, and it's a yellow bat where for I think it was like a 2-year period they had the black bats across the jerseys.
That was some of those championship years in the 40s.
Correct.
I've got one.
You're all over it.
Mine's got a picture of Stan on the front of it.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Little chopper to second base. And Nunez retired for the first out here in the bottom of the 2nd. And that'll bring in Molina against Jay So. Cardinals leading 1-0 on Albert Pujols' RBI in the first.
See where Cardinals are facing this guy that they have just a minimal amount of history against, Jay So. You kind of wonder why he was sent to North Fork. You know, he's got a 1.79 ERA. He's 5-0 since coming back, and he has a 1.7 ERA during that time. So what was he doing so bad to get sent out?
Numbers look pretty darn good.
You know, other than the fact that maybe they wanted him to go down and work on the breaking pitches and in a more relaxed atmosphere, and obviously it's paid off, going 5-0 since his return.
What a difference the first month of the season and beyond has been for a guy at the plate. Take away that first month, and Molina has just been one of the top hitters in this lineup. Not great, but very good. It's hit around 280 and picks up a single up the middle.
Notice how he's going up the middle a lot more, using the big part of the field, not trying to pull off pitches. You know, one of the things is he doesn't strike out much, and you see now he's lifting up that leg, maybe a real short stride, so he's not moving his head and his body so much.
I think the difference is too, Al, is that he didn't strike out a lot in that first month either, but he was more just looking to put the ball in play instead of trying to drive it for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, and that happens when you're really struggling. Your average is so low. You're just kind of really trying to fend for yourself in a defensive swing. But now he feels good about himself, and he's taking aggressive swings.
No balls and a strike on Hector Luna. Luna gets into this one at a deep left field. Floyd is back. That'll stay in the ballpark, though. It's on the track and caught. Yadier back to first, and there's 2 down.
That would have been a nice birthday present for Kathy Needler. Kathy, travel agent for our Auto Club in Springfield, Missouri for over 30 years. A die-hard Cardinal fan. She watches every game right here on FSN. She even threw out the first pitch last year by winning the contest sponsored by AAA. So happy birthday, Kathy.
Strike one on Marquis. Jason hitting .342. We've talked about how valuable he could be in postseason play. Pitching, running, and pinch hitting. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Little chopper to first. And we have two in the books. St. Louis on top by a run. Tonight, due to the Cardinals game, FSN Midwest cannot bring you the benefit concert, Shelter from the Storm, a concert for the Gulf Coast hurricane relief effort. You can still participate in this nationwide mission by calling 866-48-NOW, 866-424-3669, or by going to redcross.org or salvationarmyusa.org. Every contribution makes an impact. Third inning here in St. Louis. Marquis back to work. He'll face the top of the order, Jose Reyes, exciting young player, then Cairo and Beltran. Reyes reached on an 0-2 pitch his first time up. Shows bunt and takes a ball. Doug Eddings fires it back at Jason Marquis. Home plate umpire. Better be paying attention now.
Yeah.
Don't be looking down at the mound and fiddling with the dirt.
I know some umpires get a little cute that way, and I think they play burnout with you, and like you say, you want to say, you know, hey, you know, I'm not watching, I'm not paying attention, you're playing your little game. Let me throw one at you.
2-1 the count. Reyes, along with David Wright, make up the young nucleus for this franchise. Hector Luna, round number one.
Apparently has that sinker going as he's starting to get some of these ground balls, pounding it right into the dirt. The Cardinal defense, they'll make those plays.
I know you remember this, Al. Name a Met was a trivia question we had at Shea.
Yeah, it was Miguel Cairo.
It was Miguel Cairo.
Of all the Mets you could have picked. Even Guru.
Doug Stanton came up with that one.
Cairo.
Made you think, though, didn't it?
It sure did.
If you would have said Keith Hernandez during that game, that would have been wrong, according to Doug. He is a Met, but it was this Met we were looking for. Eckstein has been busy so far. 2 outs. Our Schnooks this date in baseball history. The Rangers fire manager Whitey Herzog. The White Rat will be replaced by Billy Martin back in 1973.
And you know what happened right there? Whitey was really, he had the Rangers playing pretty good baseball. But Brad Corbett, the owner, was so enamored with Billy Martin when Martin got fired, and I think at that time it might have been in Texas. He wanted him so badly, he fired Whitey to make room.
Pujols will get it. That's a fair ball. An easy inning for Jason Marquis. Top of the order coming up for the Cardinals. That means Eckstein, Taguchi, and Pujols. 1-0 St. Louis here at Busch. For the Cardinals. Showing bunt. And takes ball one up and in. 1-0 Cardinals. Eckstein, Taguchi, and Pujols here in the Cardinals half of the third. Same kind of play that David Eckstein hit one out in Washington, one of the toughest parks to hit a home run in, as he was showing bunt. And Happy Gilmore'd it out of the ballpark. He was running towards a mound and hit it out. That was a game that Jason Marquis made a start in.
Happy Gilmore was hitting it off the ground.
He also had to contend with Bob Barker.
Yes, well,
that's always a factor when you think about that.
Kind of reminded you of Ventura trying to take on the old guy Nolan Ryan. Sometimes you better respect your elders. Little hint, hint.
Hey. I warned Timmy about you, Al.
That's right. It was only directed towards Tim. We're partners.
Thank you, partner. Reyes to his left. Eckstein is 1 for 2.
Little hesitation he has at the top of his windup. Just little thing to get your timing off.
Still filing in on this Friday night. Filling up towards the upper deck. Here's Sotaguchi with 1 out, nobody on. Makes a breaking ball for strike 1. He doubled his first time up. Jay So pitching against So.
So what?
So we're just showing it.
So often. One of these guys is going to win.
There's the 0-2 pitch. And another 0-2 to Sotaguchi. Ground ball off the glove of Jay-So, barehanded, and not in time. It's thrown away. Taguchi doesn't realize it, thought about going to second. Now he's in fair territory and has to hurry back to the bag. So Taguchi is 2 for 2, and tonight, due to the Cardinals game, FSN Midwest cannot bring you the benefit concert Shelter from the Storm, a concert for the Gulf Coast hurricane relief effort. You can still participate in this nationwide mission by calling 866-48-NOW, 866-424-3669, or by going to redcross.org or salvationarmyusa.org. Every contribution makes an impact. There's a lot of little things happening on that play, because Sotaguchi, Al, when he was coming back to first base, was coming back in fair territory. If they threw the ball to the bag with the pitcher covering, he would have been out.
There are times you can do that in fair territory, but he did make a conscious effort to go to second, and that makes him a live base runner. And so he would, if he's tagged out before reaching the bag, he would have been out. You can't make that move towards second, or you can run through the bag and still be safe. But you make a move towards second, you're a live runner.
1-0 pitch to Pujols, up and in for ball number 2. Albert, of course, went deep twice last night. Once to center, the other time to left field.
I don't know if Jay So pitched inside as much the first time around, but where he's thrown some balls makes him effective. You don't get guys diving across the plate.
That was a good pitch right there. Didn't get the call, and it's 3-0.
Pitch inside to get guys off the plate so you can get them out away.
That's ball 4. One out, and it brings in Edmonds with runners at first and second. Jimmy struck out swinging his first time up. Chris Carpenter was fantastic last night, now a 21-game winner. He's undefeated in 16 starts while pitching at least 7 innings and allowing no more than 3 runs in any of those games. I mean, he has been as dominating as you can get.
13 straight decisions he's won.
Now let me repeat this. Carpenter undefeated in 16 starts while pitching at least 7 innings and allowing no more than 3 runs in any of those games. No other pitcher in the live ball era has accomplished that feat, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. That's amazing.
It's also 22 consecutive quality starts. That ties Bob Gibson and his great season of 1968. You would think sometime in there you just give up a couple solo shots or a base hit and a long ball, but he has been that consistent, and there's at times he's been so good the only way you can beat him, or the only way you can score off him, is a solo home run.
Runners at first and second. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Edmonds out in front, pops it up. Outfield grass goes to shortstop Jose Reyes. There's 2 down, and it's up to Larry Walker. I mean, you and I have seen day in and day out this team rack up the victories, and many of those thanks to the starting pitching and of course what Chris Carpenter has done. And we don't have votes, but if we did, it would go to Chris Carpenter hands down.
Cardinal starters have won 75 games this season. That equaled last year's staff. Major league leader in starting pitching with those 75 wins. Second is the White Sox with 66.
Walker looks at a strike. Line to left field to end the first, his first time up. Cardinals are without Mark Rudzelanek, out with his sore back. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. Walker out in front.
It's a good changeup that he has.
And a good pitch tonight, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's his best pitch. But you can see now by adding a cutter and a curveball to go along with that fastball and changeup, now he's got enough assortment to keep everybody guessing.
No balls, 2 strikes, and Walker outside. Last time he went deep was a solo home run, you might remember, against the Florida Marlins and A.J. Burnett.
Dead center field.
That's right. A.J. is pitching tonight for the Marlins.
A.J. may be throwing tonight. He's already given up 6 runs to the Phillies in 4 innings.
Josh Beckett homered last night for the Marlins, his first ever home run in the major leagues. Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Walker. Out in front again, and good changeup. He strikes out. Cardinals strand 2. We head to the 4th here at Busch Stadium. St. Louis on top by the score of 1-0. Cliff Floyd up there hacking. First pitch fouled back for strike 1. Of course, college football tomorrow down in Columbia. Missouri Tigers will take on New Mexico.
You and Luke going?
Mama said you're staying home. I tried. No dice.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, who runs that family? Who's wearing the pants there?
Libby. And then Luke. And then me.
Okay. Not even a dog?
A couple dogs are above me, too.
They're above you, too?
Missouri Tigers.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. I've seen you in action, buddy boy.
Yes,
hey,
ma'am.
We're partners.
Yes, ma'am.
But I've seen you in action.
Words of wisdom. just give in.
Exactly right. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Floyd. Out to center. Edmonds initially broke back, but it's high in the air. And caught by Jimmy. You can vote for the top 10 greatest Cardinal moments at Busch Stadium, presented by MasterCard. Go to stlouiscardinals.com to vote. Voting starts today and ends on September 19th. STOcardinals.com, your place for your votes. Do you have a favorite, Mr. Roboski? I would assume that your favorites have to come when you're playing and you're on the mound and you're finishing games off.
Well, from a personal standpoint, would probably be the I love Roboski Habana Hade.
If you try to say that 3 times fast, we'd be here till next season.
They might sing a new song about it.
Go ahead and sing.
I love Roboski Habana Hade. I love Roboski Habana Hade. I love Roboski Habana Hade. Put an H in front of everything.
How did that come about? 2 down.
I think Jack Carney. It was during football season. We were in a pennant race in about 74, and they said that we were in Philadelphia, and I closed out a ball game. They said the point of a football game, they were just to roar the crowd as everyone was listening to their radios. And Jack Carney said something about, we had to do a bumper sticker about this. And so he spelled out this bumper sticker, and he showed one of the advertisers, and he misspelled my name. Didn't put an H in front of it. He spelled it sort of phonetically. And when they got on him about he didn't put an H, he said, well, I'll put an H in front of everything. And it kind of stuck.
And there you go.
It's really exciting.
So out of all those great moments and things you've seen,
I said that was my personal. One of those bumper stickers. I love Roboski and Camel X are at the saloon, along with a picture of you and I.
Is that right?
Yeah, I told you.
I actually made the cut?
Yes.
That's hammered into right. 2-out base hit for Mike Jacobs.
Don't get excited. I think Tom Mee and Paul Molitor did too.
Go ahead and take mine down.
Young man, the Double-A Player of the Year, and one of the young players trying to make an impact.
Now it's Victor Diaz. Tommy, our director, Mike Kelling, our producer tonight, our Butch Sports crew.
And I was here for Bob Gibson's 3,000th strikeout. Unfortunately, wasn't here during my playing time to see any of the World Championship games. Well,
that's backhanded by Nunez. Gets up, throws. Oh, what a play! A fantastic play by Nunez. What a play by Nunez. It's 1-0 St. Louis as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Just an unbelievable play for the man filling in for Scott Rowland over at third. And he is not disappointed defensively. He is not Scott Rowland, but yet he has made some Scott Rowland type plays. And
that's right. Scott Rowland-esque. Right over the bag and dives for it, scrambles to his feet, strong throw across the diamond, and gets the third out. Now, he had to do that because he knew he was coming up first.
That's how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many times a guy makes a phenomenal defensive play, and he's the first hitter, so the ovation continues.
That's your Bud Light play of the game. Great taste for your great times.
It's all timing.
Here's Reyes. He's got a strong arm. Over to first. Nunez retired. He's 0 for 2, and it brings in Molina. Mentioned in our Bud Sports crew, and game number 142 tonight. Boy, they've got it down fat. Smooth as silk once again. Our fine crew here in St. Louis. First pitch to Molina. Taken low.
And just in case they didn't need the practice of taking down a truck, they got to do that last night in the middle of the series.
Is that right?
Yeah, they had brought in a new truck for whatever reason. It only adds about 4 more hours to their day.
I talked to a Big Dog after the game. He was very pleased.
Oh, that he knew what day to miss?
He's always happy-go-lucky. 2-1 the count. Molina is singled tonight. He's 1 for 1. After a long night, they're thinking of maybe that ice-cold Budweiser, Al.
I don't think you have to wait for a long night for those guys. Constantly on their mind.
Out to center. 2 down. Molina 1 for 2, and it brings in Luna. Only run in this game, an RBI by Pujols. To score David Eckstein back in the first.
Milwaukee has jumped out to a 3-1 lead over Roger Clemens and the Astros.
We touched on it last night, the fact that Pujols has the 2 home run game. And Carpenter wins number 21 against the Mets, and much of their media is here. Such a big media town, obviously. And a chance to see those 2 on display as Jose Oquendo makes a nice play.
Hey, number 11 on his back. And number 11 waiting to be peeled down. See, he's telling David Wright, hey, that's how you do it, kid. Who's going to take that number down? Do we know?
We do not. But we figure it would be Jose Oquendo. Luna strikes out. Nasty pitch from Jay So. 5th inning coming up. And the Cardinals on top by a run. Trivia question back here at Busch Stadium. St. Louis on top by a run. Who did Terry Pendleton a homer off of in September 1987 to eliminate the Mets from the National League East pennant race? Famous home run at Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium. Looked like a sure loss and turned it into a stunning victory.
Those were great. Those series. Oh, with the Mets, Hernandez and Strawberry, Doc Gooden, Darling, Sid Fernandez, Howard. I mean, it was fun. Gary Carter. Cardinals had the great teams. Of course, Lenny Dykstra, part of those teams with the Mets.
Dykstra and Backman.
I was here the night that Darryl Strawberry put one off the clock.
Oh, yeah. Ken Daly loves it when you remember that.
And back then, guy hit a home run that far, you never saw it. I mean, you'll see it more so now than you would back then, but he put one off the scoreboard clock. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Jason Marquis.
Second strikeout for Jason, but he wants to get ground balls.
Aflac trivia question. Terry Pendleton's big home run at Shea Stadium. Who did he hit it off of back in 1987? Roger McDowell. Yeah. Whitey Herzog and Davey Johnson squaring off. Eckstein, he's been busy tonight. 2 outs. Let's go back to 1987, Shea Stadium. Terry Pendleton, as we flash back, would dig in.
All the fans cheering. Not for long.
Reyes takes strike one. Cubs and Cardinals have always had the great rivalry for so many years, but the Mets and Cardinals was a great rivalry. It was a rivalry of two teams that just hated each other. Two cities that hated each other too. The Pond Scum, remember that?
Sure.
0-2 the count on Jose Reyes.
Had so many years where St. Louis was in the Eastern Division, so faced off with the Mets many times.
0-2 pitch. Now we go there just one time a year. New York coming here for a 4-game set. Here's a 1-2 pitch, curveball, and just missed outside. You can hear Doug Eddings not only call it a ball, but he's going to tell you where it was.
Marquis throws it, and he thinks he's got a strikeout, so he's walking off. Eddings said it went around the plate.
And it's another curveball that's hit down the first base line and foul. Situation last night where Edmonds allowed the second baseman Kaz Matsui to field the ground ball, and by doing so avoided a possible double play. As Matsui had time to tag him out then throw to first. This situation, Marquis and Reyes run into each other. 2-2. Another curveball. A check down at third, and Jerry Davis says he did not go around. Full count. Reyes is 1 for 2 tonight.
Almost like he got it 0-2 and then tried 3 consecutive breaking balls.
And it's a ground ball to Luna. Reyes retired. 1-2-3 inning for Jason Marquis. Midway through the 5th, Cardinals on top. Marquis to lead it off for St. Louis. And takes a strike. Jason hitting .338 on the year.
Needs all pitchers with hits and RBIs, and he's got some extra base hits scattered amongst those.
I think it's going to be interesting as the catcher ducks on that pitch.
Obviously, he got crossed up.
With nobody on. He's waiting for that thing to bend, and it kept going straight.
Was that so? Must know karate, because Castro put his mask on before he said anything to him. He's looking for a breaking ball, and he throws a fastball, and a little miscommunication.
I know you and Ted Simmons would never allow maybe a possible fastball to just get out of his reach and maybe strike an umpire, would you?
Only if it could hit the batter first.
So you're looking for the deflection?
Yeah, I want 2 for 1.
Okay. You want to get your money's worth.
Teddy and I never got confused.
1-2 is pounded towards first. Pitcher covering, that's so.
It's pretty tough
and
to
get out number 1.
Get confused when you only have 1 pitch.
These last few days, we've all seen the devastating effects of Hurricane Katrina, along with the Gulf Coast and what's happened there. If you'd like to help the victims, you can make donations by going to SalvationArmyUSA.org or call 800-SAL-ARMY. You can also go to www.redcross.org or call 800-HELP-NOW.
And you see all the Cardinals and Mets, all of baseball, wearing the Red Cross on their helmets.
Rich catches the outside corner.
I believe Red Cross is sanctioned by the Players Association.
I was about to say it'll be interesting to see how these final couple of weeks play out for the Cardinals, and in particular Jason Marquis. I mean, a couple of starts ago, we're wondering how the final month was going to shape up if he did not get back on track. Well, he's not only on track, he's been dominant.
I've learned a lot of times when you worry about something, about the time you have to make a decision, things kind of figure themselves out.
So many times we've seen guys get hurt,
right,
and all of a sudden it creates an opportunity for somebody.
Sometimes they're legitimately hurt.
I know what you're thinking. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Just missed on the outside corner. Now the first pitch in this at bat to Eckstein, that was a strike, it looked like, on the outside corner. That one was called a ball, maybe just a little lower. I don't remember So being that deliberate and hesitant at the top of his windup.
He hasn't pitched that often against the Cardinals. And I agree with what you're saying.
Hit to third, right, a nice pick over to first. 2 down.
It's played by David Wright, not quite as flashy as Nunez, but gets the job done. See how far off the line he is, and goes over here and backhands it, sets himself, throws across the diamond, and just gets Eckstein with a nice stretch by Jacob at the other end. So is 0-2 lifetime against the Cardinals.
And Taguchi is robbed by the first baseman. Mike Jacobs a good play. And the Cardinals go 1-2-3. The Cardinals top of the 6th, and Jose Oquendo along with his family peeling off number 11. And let's flash back. Jose Oquendo, of course, known here in St. Louis as the secret weapon, as Whitey Herzog would use him in all kinds of spots, including pitching that famous night against the Atlanta Braves. And who could forget this? Game 7.
Well, if it was a
1987 National League Championship Series against San Francisco. Atlee Hammaker on the mound. Oquendo would go deep.
You know, if it was a left-hander wearing a Giants uniform, Jose had a chance to hit a home run. That night where he pitched, he went 3+ innings. And the first 3 were shutout innings and extra innings game before he sustained the loss. And it was, but I mean, he pitched and really did a heck of a job trying to hold the Atlanta Braves at bay.
Cairo to second. Luna comes up with it.
And it became the first position player to record a decision since Rocky Colavito.
Cardinal Baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack invites you to come in and experience Ciabatta. It's all about the bread. By your local Chrysler Jeep dealers. And by U.S. Cellular, we connect with you. How about our crew working in the truck?
It's kind of odd, isn't it?
There's Tommy, and Kim is in there. Doug and Jeannie and Nadia.
Nadia's answering her cell phone.
Don Lucy.
She's probably trying to arrange our travel.
Mike Helling in there. But that gives you an idea, folks at home. These guys work incredibly hard, but look at all the different TV monitors that they are watching of different cameras that are covering this game and trying to decipher the best replay, the best way to bring you Cardinal baseball. That's our Bud Sports crew. That top monitor is what you see at home, the big screen there. That's the one that is live for us, but all kinds of different cameras catching all kinds of different things. As Beltran reaches with a base hit. And we mean it, guys. You're the best, and gals. I would lose my eyesight if I was one of those guys or gals down there. I don't know how they do it, but they are incredibly talented with so many different things going on, from the microphones on the field, the microphones up in the booth, to us gabbing away, trying to figure out what we're talking about. They're also coordinating with the folks in Houston to figure out our commercial breaks and what exactly we're doing. So to all you guys and our Bud Sports crew, you do a wonderful job, and we thank you very much. A strike on the outside corner to Cliff Floyd. Personally, I'd lose my mind down there. It's hard enough up here with you.
You'll get there. You'll get there with me too. It's amazing. worked with me longer than anybody.
That's right.
Those people end up going to the funny farm after 2 years.
One ball, one strike on Cliff Floyd with a runner at first and one out.
So dangerous, I send some of them to Hawaii to become governor.
You're something else, Rabowski. Little chopper to David Eckstein. His only play to go to first. It's a wide throw. And it's going to be first and second with just one out.
Really not a lot of option right there. If Nunez didn't get over to cut it off, it was so slowly hit. You see where Eckstein was playing back behind the second base bag, so a long run, and then he kind of changes angle to make that throw, and a little bit wide, but he was going to beat it out either way. Floyd still runs pretty well.
Speaking of hockey, a big day with the St. Louis Blues, and in all seriousness, congratulations and best of luck to the future Hall of Famer Al McInnes, who officially called it quits today.
Class act, period.
And one of the best defensemen all time.
Yeah,
probably in the top three when you think about defensemen.
He'll be a Hall of Famer, and good thing is he's taking on a new career in the Blues front office.
He's staying right here in town. He's got 4 kids, he and his wife Jackie, and they're going to call St. Louis their permanent home. And he is coaching youth hockey in the area. He will take a position, as you said, Al, with the St. Louis Blues. And he's going to bounce all over the place and just kind of get a feel of the different aspects of running a franchise, from the general manager to scouting to coaching. But we wish him nothing but the best, because he is a classy guy.
And that's a great addition to the hierarchy of the Blues. And you know they're smart enough to use that resource in multiple ways.
This is my 10th season coming up with the St. Louis Blues, so I've seen Al around every year. He's not a better guy to deal with. That's going to bloop in there for a base hit, and this game is tied. David Wright picks up the RBI, his 88th, and it's 1-1. 3 consecutive hits for New York, as Beltran scores the first Mets run of the night.
He's out there at second base, so he's going to get a pretty good read. You can see how high it is. Took one look, saw Luna, knew he didn't have a chance to catch it, and then he can coast on home.
Brings in Mike Jacobs. Runners at first and second. One out. We're in the top of the 6th. Brand new game. It's 1-1. We've seen this guy swing the bat pretty well here in his first 2 plate appearances.
As I said, he was the Eastern League's most valuable player. He batted .321 with 66 runs, 37 doubles, 2 triples, and 25 home runs, and 93 RBIs in just 117 games.
A ball and a strike.
In a pinch hit 3-run home run in his first major league at bat. His last 8 starts, he's hit just under 300 with 7 runs scored, a couple doubles, 3 home runs, and 6 RBIs and 6 walks.
Two and one.
Talking the other day about when Maddox was pitching, when he gets in a little bit of a jam, how he goes softer. It looks like Jason's doing the opposite, and what most guys do, they get in a jam, they try to throw harder, and the ball straightens out.
Down even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
All he needs to do is go get one of those ground balls. So use that sinker.
Two pitch. There it is. That's one. That's wide. And now Luna's throwing play is going to cost the Cardinals as Floyd will come in to score to make it 2-1 in favor of New York.
Well, the defensive alignment really threw things off here, as you see how Eckstein was playing back behind the bag, so he started going over there, but he forgot his shortstop, or excuse me, his third baseman was well off the line to make that play. So the timing even got thrown off for Luna, because he had to run from a further spot away from second, and when he got the ball, then it was a little more awkward throw. Instead of creeping up on the bag, he's sprinting for the bag, and his angle was different.
This one is popped up right side, and a play for Walker near the line, and he puts it away. A couple of errors in this game charged against St. Louis, and it's cost him. It's now 2-1 Mets. Take a look at our What's on Tap. Brought to you by Budweiser. Tomorrow at 6 we'll be on the WB. Bob Carpenter and Rick Horton will have the call. Jeff Suppan and Steve Traxel. Our What's on Tap brought to you by Budweiser. Suppan is 13-10 on the year. Traxel 1-1, returning from a back injury this year. And here's Albert Pujols sitting on 39 home runs. And now So steps off. Pujols, Edmonds, and Walker here in the Cardinals half of the sixth. St. Louis down 2-1. First time they've trailed in this series. Steady diet of changeups here to Albert Pujols from Jay So tonight. Pujols has a lone RBI, number 107, back in the first, and a ground out to second. He walked in the third. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Curveball. Boy, was that tantalizing, just sitting there for Albert. So slow, he was out in front and popped it up. That's as slow as we have seen him come to the plate.
And just that changeup, a good pitch, but it was like it was 64. Most of his changeups have been about 80. So you can see how the variance just fooled Albert.
Differential tonight, the speed, 93 the high, 67 the low. Here's Edmonds with one out, nobody on. Jimmy a check swing. Edmonds struck out with a runner at third back in the first, and just one out. He had runners at first and second. Next time up, popped out to the shortstop. 0 for 2. Average has dipped to 263. Sunday, September 11th, Matt Morris will go against Pedro Martinez. Be curious to see how Matt responds after having a couple of rough outings. Jammed was Edmonds into shallow left. Floyd will make the catch. Pitch by pitch feature brought to you by your Mid-America Chevrolet dealers.
Off speed right there. Didn't mean to swing, but gets a strike. And it changes up on him, and a little pop up at Floyd. Comes underneath it, makes the play. Kid's been very impressive.
Walker pulls it foul. Larry 0 for 2 tonight, out in front of that pitch. This changeup has been magnificent tonight.
Yeah, that's his best pitch, but you know, the fastball, he kind of moves it around a little bit, but you see where that curveball and cutter have really worked for him.
Walker action. Now is slow to get recouped in the box as he swung hard at that pitch, was out in front. Let's hope he didn't hurt himself.
Well, that's, you know, on the changeups probably was what, like you said, you get out in front.
And Larry strikes out.
He didn't look good on that one.
Now he's hurt. 2-1 Mets. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals, LLC. Our score, 7th inning, 2-1 in favor of New York. Marquis is allowed to 6 hits tonight, but trails 2-1. Cardinals have only 4 hits. Jay So has been one of the stories. As here's Castro, and he jumps on the first pitch out to deep left field, and it is over the left fielder's head. That's So Taguchi out there, and it's a double for Castro.
Very strange the way So played that ball. I mean, one, I think it might have surprised him that it was hit so hard, but it looked like he shied away from the wall. As he goes back on this ball, it snuck behind him, and you see him start ducking a little bit as maybe he lost sight of it in the lights. You see how he kind of, as he looked, but see another pitch up as maybe Jason reverting back, trying to throw too hard. The bunt on, everybody charging, but ball 1. I think the way So went back, because that hit off the base of the wall. And maybe he lost it in the lights going back, and he just feared for his life.
Or you wonder, because it was a line drive and hit so hard, did not have much time to really gather where he was, as that's a foul ball, 1 strike, that he figured maybe he was running out of room. Didn't realize how much room he had.
Yeah, and you know, he's such a good outfielder and won multiple Gold Gloves in Japan. They can tell the difference when you're running on that grass and you hit the warning track. You know, you sense that, the change of surface under your feet. So that usually is not the case, but could be.
That one's going to roll foul. So is showing bunt and swings away, and Albert's thinking, oh no. He's charging. Yikes.
I don't think Albert fears anything. And at the very least, he'll keep on charging. He held his ground. His reaction time's quick.
Pujols thought about going to third. Luna covering at first. That's out number 1. 3-4 on the out. Rally bands are back and available at participating Hardee's for $1. This year's band is red and white tie-dye, featuring the Cardinals logo and the phrase "Go Cards." Proceeds to benefit Cardinals Care. Supplies are limited, so get yours today. So with 1 out and a runner at third base, Jose Reyes will dig in. Nine times out of 10 to start this inning, you'll see So Taguchi make that play, and it's a play that got over his head that he probably will tell you he's got to make. Regardless, now it's a runner at third and just 1 out. Reyes, a dangerous man at the plate, takes a ball on the outside portion of the plate. He's got 55 driven in this year from this leadoff spot.
Speed is the one factor that really, you know, adds a lot to how dangerous he can be.
Now, he is a good bunter too. You might think about the squeeze play in this spot.
Squeeze play, but you also think about the fact that, you know, he's shown tonight that he can pull the ball to the right side. That is a catcher running. Castro.
2-1.
Tony usually pretty good at sniffing out the squeeze, and now that they fall behind the count 2-1, you want to run the risk of that pitch out.
Mets are an even 500 this year at 70 and 70. Like we said before, for the most part in must-win situations, night in and night out, because they are 5.5 games out in the wild card. St. Louis trying to reduce this magic number to 9, possibly 8, depending on what happens with Houston. They trail in their game 5-3.
If you've got a squeeze on and the catcher can see it.
Oh, right down the middle. What's he waiting for? There's 2 outs. Hardy's hot pitch of the game is brought to you by Hardy's. Marquis to Reyes, right down central.
It's a sinker right there, and that is a big out. Strike out that man, strand that runner at third base with 1 out. Now you have to do it one more time with our buddy Cairo.
Miguel is 0 for 3. Our buddy Jerry Clinton in attendance at the ballpark tonight.
More than in attendance. It's up here taking care of us.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Popped up, and Marquis could get out of this jam. Edmonds makes the catch. Will it carry over the momentum to the bottom half of this inning? We're going to find out midway through the 7th. St. Louis is tonight's merchandise winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run, Warren qualifies for the Hyundai Tucson drawing in September. We had a winner last night. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Cardinals will have Nunez, Molina, and Luna due up against Jay So. Trying to figure this guy out. The Cardinals have only 4 hits tonight.
Doesn't look like the same pitcher Tony saw, who was 0-2 with an 11-point ERA. This is the first time the Cardinals have seen him this year. And he is this version the Mets fans are pretty excited about.
Last time we saw him, he was working out of the bullpen. And was not this good. Trying to run his record 8-1. Here's Nunez.
He's been throwing consistently 7 innings per start.
I mean, truly, Alan, you would know this better than I. That's how you win games. If you can go deep as a starter, that's how you rack up these victories. Chris Carpenter is a perfect example of that. It's strike 2.
You got to want it. You know, you want to go in there deep. So many wins are taken away from starters by middle relief.
Nunez slaps it down towards third. Tough play for right. Up the line, gets away. And the first baseman, Jacobs, very well could be hurt on that play. And Nunez winds up at second. He's in scoring position, but the young first baseman, Mike Jacobs, is on the ground.
Well, you know, Floyd's out there. We talked a little bit last night about him with breaking a wrist on a similar play that gets tangled up with a runner. A very difficult play right at the bag, and he makes it perfect, and then he throws it a little bit inside, and probably a separated shoulder was what I would first think. You see, he reaches out there, he gets caught up with Nunez's body. I wonder if he even stepped on the bag. I guess he did there. So the umpire said safe. He did. He gets to second base, but the Mets are more concerned about their young, good-looking, outstanding hitting first baseman.
It's a base hit and an error on right. Jacobs is up. He seems to be all right. The way that he was able to put some weight on the ground as he was getting up. That ball actually started out foul off the bat of Nunez and came back fair. It looked like it hit about a foot outside the third base line and then came back fair just down the line, and very tough play for right. So now the Cardinals, with Luna on deck, have a situation that Molina could sacrifice or try to drive him in, or at least get that runner to third. Both corner positions are in. Outfield is shallow straight away. Molina bunts it towards third. Perfect. Nunez to third.
Now see, you want to bunt that ball hard enough to get it by the pitcher, make the third baseman come in and field it, And that's the only thing you can do. The shortstop never gets in position with third base, so you want to bunt it out in this area to where you get it past the pitcher, and the third baseman's the only one that can field it. Should have left that circle there because it's right there. Now the shortstop, he doesn't move this way, so the only option they have is to go to first base. Right looks, but there was nobody there.
Chance here for Luna. Advanced scouting will tell you, be aware of the squeeze play, in particular with a guy like Luna at the plate. Runners have scored 3 out of 4 times.
The Cardinals have tried 14 squeezes this year and been successful 12 times. Unbelievable.
Luna up the middle. And just scoots on through for the RBI. This game is tied 2-2. Nunez actually hesitated, and he may have caught a break as that one was not fielded cleanly, and it's a base hit for Hector Luna and an RBI.
Well, with only 1 out, he was not going on contact. So see, he made sure that one went through, because if he was going on contact and the pitcher would have fielded the ball, he would have been out. So he did exactly what he's supposed to do when you're not going on contact. You make sure that ball goes through, and then you can come home.
Now what do you do in this situation with Marquis? Do you let him swing away, or do you get that runner in scoring position, or at least maybe give Luna a chance to steal a base too?
I think you let him swing away, but the one thing they can do is it really puts pressure on the defense because they have no idea. It could be an option as you see what the count becomes, but right now I think he's going to swing away.
He's got a big lead over there at first base.
And by throwing over to first base, they keep on trying to see if Marquis will give it away.
And I don't think people realize how fast Luna is. He's one of the fastest runners on this team.
And now all of a sudden Jose went through a new set of signs, so he could put the bunt on. It wouldn't be beyond Tony La Russa to hit and run.
And Luna wants time to talk to Dave McKay. Would you also consider, now you do put some pressure on the hitter if he falls behind the count, but telling Marquis to take a pitch or two to allow Luna a chance to steal a base straight
Sure.
up?
Yeah, that's no problem. Beltran kind of standing around. A little bored out there right now, which puts more pressure on the defense. Luna 7 steals and 8 attempts. What these throws do, other than infuriate your center fielder and the fans, is it takes the life and spring out of the legs of Luna.
He's not running, and the pitch is fouled back.
Remember also, and it's a good point what you're talking about, the potential steal, is because So has such a good changeup, and these other off-speed pitches, you get a good jump and he throws an off-speed pitch, Luna should have enough time to get down there.
Maybe a half step bigger lead. Again, pitch out and undoing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good base stealers, they can see a difference in the motion when there's a pitch out.
And Beltran, Al, didn't even move on that last pitch.
Well, that's one of the pet peeves what catchers will say, like say he was stealing and you throw down and the ball gets away because your center fielder's not moving, then you could get up and go to third.
Now he's running and the pitch is fouled back. It was a good jump too by Luna.
Hit and run was on. Tell that by the way Marquis swung down on the ball, trying to make sure he'd hit it on the ground. And you know, now you've got the infield kind of backing up, so if Tony wanted to drop down the bunt now, you know, that's the beauty, is you can keep on switching off with every pitch.
You run the risk, though, with 2 strikes, but you have trust in Marquis.
Yeah, you know, you got a guy in the element of surprise. It's his ball game. If he wants to win, he needs to get the bunt down. There would be 2 outs, though.
Outside, 2-2.
Marquis may get more fastballs in this at bat because of the potential of the steal. And again, Luna needs help from Dave McKay as to what the sign was.
Show is set. The pitch. Marquis out to left, but right at Floyd. Pat Parrish is with us tonight. He'll be hosting the Midwest Sports Report from Busch Stadium. We got him out of the studio down here to the ballpark. Player interviews, 888 Ring Fox, and Pat was busy today as we had our live coverage of the Al McInnes press conference. So more on Chopper hanging him up. From number 2, Al McInnes, to number 22, David Eckstein. Another situation here, Al, where David Eckstein does not mind whatsoever hitting with 2 strikes, so he may take a strike or 2 and allow Luna a chance to steal a bag.
And if he is not successful, you still got your leadoff man top of next inning. David Eckstein with 53 RBIs. You know he's had to have gotten a lot of 2-out base hits to drive in runners. Here maybe he can drive him in, maybe just extend the inning.
2-0. The other element that comes into play with a guy like Luna, or Reyes is a good example, is how lost the pitcher can get as far as the focus on the batter, and more so with the guy at first. That comes into play too.
Rick Peterson, the pitching coach, out to talk to So. It's a holdover from the last regime.
We were wondering if the momentum would carry over to this bottom half inning after what Marquis was able to pitch out of, and the answer is yes, as St. Louis has tied it up now 2-2. Now with a count of 2 balls, no strikes. Let's see if the Cardinals do want to give Luna the opportunity to steal the base.
Aaron Heilman warming up.
He's not running. That's strike 2 and 1. Now traditionally in baseball, 2-1 count was, it seemed like, especially a guy like Luna, good speed, always a running count.
That's old school. Now they said it was too predictable, so nobody runs on it. So it's about time you could do a run on it again.
Little flare out to center. That may drop at will. Luna will stop at second base. And it brings in Sotaguchi, who has been very consistent tonight. In his approach at the plate, he's 2 for 3.
Off-speed pitch, and he just kept his hands back. It jammed him a little bit, but that helped out because he didn't really hit it hard enough to get to Beltran, who had a good jump, but just couldn't come in fast enough. And as you said, So is 2 for 3, and the one time they got him out, he lined out to the first baseman.
And here's a situation, too, that we've talked about before. How many times do you worry about the man on deck, Albert Pujols, and look past a guy like Sotaguchi? And Taguchi hits it out to short. Cardinals strand 2 runners, but they've tied it up. We head to the 8th. 2-2. Marquis, here he is, pitching into the 8th. And Carlos Beltran will lead it off for the Mets. Beltran, for the most part, held in check in this series. He's 3 for 7, and tonight 1 for 3. Pitch count at 93, not too shabby with 65 strikes on the evening.
Well, and a much better ratio than we've seen a lot of times.
Going back to that start against Washington, in which he had 3 days rest. I mean, it was something like 85–90% of his pitches, Al, were sinkers. As you see the pitch speed and the variance tonight, that's exclusively what he went with and proved to be very successful.
That was his first complete game, and it turned out to be a shutout.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and Beltran. Floyd on deck, and then we're going to see Wright.
Now he got his second complete game of his career. Last time out, gave up 1 run to Houston.
We sound like a broken record. It's sold out tonight again, 45,616. Goodbye. That's how we start the 8th. Reyes last inning was caught looking on a fastball right down the middle. And we start this inning with a fastball down the middle to Beltran. Cardinal fans get in-game alerts, scores, breaking news, and more on your mobile phone for $3.99 a month. Text the word cards to 65246 or MLBGO, and charges will appear on your mobile phone bill.
And, you know, we don't know how long Roger Clemens, if he's still pitching in that game, but Milwaukee has scored 5 runs off him. They trail 5-3. With Milwaukee batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. But, you know, when you have a 1.5 ERA, you start giving up some few runs and you don't get a lot of innings pitched. All this talk about Roger Clemens' ERA, and if it starts climbing up towards Carpenter's 2.21, there's no comparison.
Floyd to the opposite way with a 1-out base hit. And Al, to accentuate your point, it's not just the total ERA, but it's the ERA on the road. That will be on the rise with what's taken place tonight.
And that was kind of minuscule, wasn't it?
Sure was. 1 out and a runner at first. And here's David Wright.
David
Ball 1 to Wright.
Led all National Leaguers in the month of August with a 378 average. He's hit better than 360 in his last 53 games.
Two 2-0. That's going to get the Cardinals bullpen up and throwing as they scurry very quickly down there.
Flores and Thompson.
Pitch. That's a strike at the knees.
That pitch right there is going to probably produce a ground ball double play. That's something that Marquis hasn't had tonight.
Hit hard to Nunez. Another nifty play. Double play. How well has he played over at the hot corner? Little backhanded job here by Nunez to end the top half of the 8th. Game recap is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of Major League Baseball. Jason Marquis, another solid outing tonight. He has gone at least 8 this evening. How about Abraham Nunez and the job he's done filling in for Scott Rowland? That play, and of course we just saw the double play to end the top half of the 8th. And here's Albert Pujols to start things off in the bottom half. The game recap brought to you by Bank of America. First pitch to Albert was a strike.
You know, you hate to say this because in our mind, Albert is the MVP. But this is a situation, 2-2, late in the ball game. He can make another statement.
It was his second home run last night that gave Tony La Russa the confidence in pulling Chris Carpenter. If he doesn't go deep, Carpenter stays in the game.
Well, and then also John Gall.
Yep.
You know, gave him the final. That inning, they got the 3 runs and a 5-0 cushion.
1-1 pitch to Pujols. Low and in. I don't know if Albert has seen a ball that's been straight tonight or a fastball. Remember his last at bat, it was a 64-mile-an-hour pitch that got him out in front.
Would you throw him a fastball?
No, sir. 2 balls and a strike on Pujols.
Got an RBI and a ground out to second. He walked once, and the pop-up.
The 2-1 pitch. Albert pulls it foul.
Change up there has been, you say, Jay So's best pitch is a changeup. You really understand why. And he's used that pitch very well tonight.
4th time through the order.
Here's a fastball, but will he throw a strike?
No, he doesn't. Backs him off the plate, and it's 3-2. He's done that if he has thrown a fastball. He's just backed him off.
And that, I mean, that's smart. You know, that's old-fashioned thinking. You throw fastballs in to get you out away. Well, how many signs you got? I know you picked up a curveball and a slider, but his fingers. Here's a changeup, and he wants it away.
The 3-2 pitch. Albert, a swing and a miss. Great pitch by So.
Yeah, I mean, that is a perfect pitch. And remember, the fastball in, changeup away, but he has an excellent. The arm angle's the same, but his location has been phenomenal. He's got the downward movement. It keeps it out there, but it's away from great hitters, and it's so hard to time it because he does throw hard enough to where, you know, if you're looking for that pitch, he can throw the fastball by you.
1 on, nobody on. Here's Edmonds. Jimmy on the first pitch to the opposite way. And Cliff Floyd near the track will gather in out number 2. Cardinal Baseball, a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of FSN Midwest. Here's Larry Walker. We thought he was hurting after his last at bat. Some of the swings that he put on in that at bat, change-ups that he was way out in front of.
You know, he made the final out there in the 6th inning, so he went in the field. Maybe if he sat on the dugout, he might have said something.
Another change-up, ball 1. Walker is 0 for 3. Edmonds 0 for 4.
You know, Larry Walker's one of those type of hitters where he will take a chance and look for this changeup. But see, the problem is, you know, I mean, he's got that great action, particularly the left-handers, where he keeps it consistently down and away and moving further away from him. And here's another changeup. And Larry couldn't believe the call. But that pitch, you're not going to do anything unless you try and drive that to the opposite field. Curveball. Even the curveball, he starts it below the belt and the bottom falls out of it. With the same arm action as his fastball, the changeup. Back to the changeup.
2-2 pitch. Walker into deep right field. He made the adjustment. It's way out of here off the scoreboard. And it's 3-2 Cardinals. What a blast.
I think the entire bat, I think Larry Walker was looking for this changeup but he wanted it up in some place where he could do something with it. And he got enough of it, and he smoked it.
Did he smoke it or what? Off the scoreboard in right field here at Busch Stadium. On a 2-2 pitch, Walker with number 13. Ninth inning coming up. St. Louis on top. Cardinals baseball. Thank you very much, Larry Walker. Is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, saluting America's responsible drinkers. Responsibility matters. And by Pontiac, the first ever Pontiac G6. Go to www.pontiac.com. We talked about earlier tonight Darryl Strawberry hitting one off the scoreboard and off the clock. Walker awfully close to that. 457 feet off the bat of Larry Walker. And it's made it 3-2 St. Louis, and look who's on the mound still. It's Jason Marquis, and now Tony La Russa allows Marquis to do his warm-up tosses, to go through those. And Al, you pointed out that Jason Isringhausen had not been up and throwing, so it allows Izzy, as Marquis finished up those warm-up tosses, to go to the bullpen and get Izzy and allow him to warm up. And he'll have a nice round of applause as he exits tonight. 3-2 in favor of the Cardinals.
And Midwest, where Cardinals fans come first.
Let's go back to the 2-2 pitch. They already put down a changeup all night long. So has been able to go on the outer half of the plate and have that ball run away. But in this case, Larry Walker's looking for the changeup, and he was looking for something that stays in the middle of the plate. Look at the glove as it goes back to the middle, and this one much higher than any of his other changeups. That's what Larry was looking for, and that's what he delivered on.
Think he knew it, Al?
I think he knew it. But I think he was hoping that he was going to get the pitch. He didn't know if he was going to get it, but he got it, and he knew what to do with it.
It turns around a very frustrating night for Walker, who had struck out twice and fly to left, and now it's Isringhausen trying to pick up save number 35, and it has not been easy as of late for Jason. First batter he's going to face is Mike Jacobs. We're in the ninth, and the first pitch is fouled away. Go back to Larry Walker's second strikeout of the night, and this is his third at bat against Jay So. This is a pitch that we thought he may have been hurting on after he swung and missed. Kind of grimacing in there. Did not obviously have a good swing on it. Was fooled. I'd say he made up for it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Izzy had to rush to get ready as soon as the Cardinals took the lead. And he had plenty of time because Marquis went out there to take his warm-up pitches. He's called the cutter here.
Al, our gun the other night, and I don't know how much you read into it, but when Isringhausen was on the mound, I don't think he topped out over 89 miles an hour. And already we've seen him at 92 in one pitch, 91 another one. So,
well, what he was doing is he's been flying open. And when you fly open, you know, you're not finishing off the pitch. You won't have the same velocity, but you won't have the control.
Nasty stuff from Izzy. That's the first out to start the ninth. Let's check in and get a preview of the post-game show with Pat Paris.
All right, guys, coming up next on the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report, Joel Goldberg will have the star of the game. We'll bring you Tony La Russa's live post-game comments and go inside the Cardinals clubhouse as well. Plus your phone calls, 1-888-RING-FOX. All that and much more coming up right after the game on the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report. Now back to Dan and Al.
Thank you, Pat. He is situated down the right field line. He'll be with you following the ball game with Joel and the gang. And that's strike one on Diaz. Victor Diaz, 1 for 3. Cardinals are trying to make Jason Marquis a 12-game winner. If Izzy can pick up the save. 3-2 St. Louis. That's a weak ground ball to Pujols. He's going to take it himself. 2 down. And we are seeing a different, at least in the first 2 batters, Al, a different Jason Isringhausen tonight.
Well, I think Jason even knew what he was doing, but knowing what you're doing, being in a rut, being in pressure situations, sometimes you know, you can't translate out there on the mound. But when you have a couple outings like he had, no one feels worse than Izzy. No one you know, he felt like he let down the entire team. He let down those starting pitchers. And, you know, he's a very proud man. And he's showing you what he can typically and what he normally does. Marlon Anderson, the former Cardinal, who's having a terrific year as a pinch hitter.
And Jason, by the way, is trying to get Dave Duncan's attention. He finally does. So Cardinal pitching coach will trot out of the dugout and visit with Isringhausen. A quick scouting report here on Marlon Anderson, a guy that they know pretty well, and we saw him pinch hit last night. One thing about Anderson, and we talked about it, Al, in game number 1 here at Busch, is the fact that Marlon, at least last year, was a fastball first pitch guy. I mean, he'll go swinging away and he'll guess, and he's had very good success doing that, and he's got some pop. You got to be careful.
Well, you know, Marlon has got 18 pinch hits. He's .367 average this year, second most in the major leagues. Earlier this year, he hit a pinch hit inside the park home run over Francisco Rodriguez on June 11th against the Angels. That was the first pinch hit inside the park home run in Mets history.
2 outs, nobody on, and the first pitch to the back of the screen.
Well, there's your fastball.
Good luck, Marlon.
As he said, hey, you told me he swings at every fastball the first pitch. Fastball away again, so trying to get him to roll over on one.
Broken bat, this should do it. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Isringhausen, and the Cardinals have taken the first 2 against New York. Win number 90. They're 90-52. The save for Izzy, number 35. Marquis is now 12-13. He's turning around his season, and Larry Walker, a hero tonight, going deep off the scoreboard and right. More to come on the postgame show here from Busch.
Now, your Midwest Sports Report, presented by Busch Light.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back inside Busch Stadium. I'm Pat Patterson. This is the post-game Cardinals edition of the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report. Brent Stover will join me a little later on. We'll be taking your phone calls at 1-888-RING-FOX. You'll also hear from Tony La Russa and go inside the Cardinals clubhouse, plus Joel Goldberg. In just a moment, we'll have our star of the game. Right now, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill wants you to know who's Hot Shots hot. And of course, it's card starter Jason Marquis. Marquis putting together his 3rd straight strong outing for the Redbirds, pitching 8 innings, allowing just 1 earned run on 8 hits, strikes out 4. Marquis picks up the win as the Cards get the victory by the final of 3-2. Jason Marquis certainly was Hot Shots hot, just 1 inning short of his 3rd consecutive complete game as well. Joel Goldberg is standing by behind me at the scene. It's brought to you by Ace Mortgage. Joel, take it away.
All right, joined by Larry Walker, and I know you want to be out there every day. It's been touch and go with the neck. How nice is it to come up there and win this game for him?
Well, I don't know if I won the game. You know, it helped. I think Marquis, with his pitching performance, Nunez defense at third base, those are the big contributors in the game. I got lucky and got a pitch and was able to hit it.
You can call it luck. It's obviously a good hit, but did you have to make any adjustments against him? He was very good against all your teammates and as well against you throughout the night.
Well, he's got a changeup and a forkball, I think. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that he's throwing up there that, you know, you get a little jumpy at, and, you know, you catch yourself off balance and swinging the stuff in the dirt.
I don't think they're cheering for me back there. I think they're cheering for you. I don't know if it's going to be your last year or not. I know you don't want to address that now, but how much do you enjoy just the atmosphere, the people? How much does that keep you going?
Yeah, you know, that's a huge part of it. You know, besides the fact, of course, we're in first place with a above-average chance of going to the playoffs. I come out here and I absolutely stink the joint up for 8 innings, and I get a hit, and you know, don't get booed, but then I get cheered when I get a hit. They're knowledgeable fans. They stand by you, and you know, they don't give up on you. They always root for the best from their players, and you know, it's appreciative from us, believe me.
Good job being lucky tonight.
What's that?
Good job being lucky tonight.
Thank you. I hope I'm lucky again someday.
Larry Walker doing it tonight. He calls it luck. I'd say it was a pretty good home run, guys.
Well, he's been a terrific hitter in his career, and welcome back to the broadcast booth. Big win for the Cardinals. Magic number at least tonight. Right now down to 9, could be 8 after what happens with Houston and Milwaukee. But as Joel alluded to, it's been a tough up-and-down season for Walker as far as staying healthy. But I'll tell you what, Al, he's going to take a fourth quarter zone shot, it looks like, before this postseason begins. Every time he's done that, he's come back and put up big-time numbers, hitting close to 350, driving the ball. He can be such a factor once postseason play gets here.
And, you know, he's a money player. He's one of those kind of guys that's not going to be phased by the glamour and all the excitement of postseason. He was the Cardinals' best hitter last year in postseason play. And, you know, he's the kind of guy, whatever's left, you know, he knows that this would probably or could be the last season, so you want to go out on top, and he's been a winner all of his career.
Let's take a look at the night for Jason Marquis. Another good one for Jason. 3 consecutive starts that he has looked outstanding. He went back-to-back 9-inning games, and now this one 8 innings.
Well, he really had his stuff going tonight. He kept the ball out of the middle of the plate, or if it was in the middle, it was down. But he went 8 innings. He gets the win here tonight, and I think there's no doubt, you know, he could have pitched that 9th inning, but it was very important to bring in Izzy in a close ball game, and Izzy was Izzy. You know, 1, 2, 3, 9th inning, as dominant as we've seen him in the past.
And that may be overlooked after the heroics of Larry Walker and Marquis making a statement for postseason play. The fact that Jason Isringhausen had his velocity back tonight and looked very, very sharp.
Yeah, I think he just got into a little rut. He was letting his front shoulder fly open. You know, when you do that, you really don't have command, and when you are releasing the ball, you can't finish off your pitches, so your velocity is going to be down. The breaking ball won't be sharp. But tonight, you know, I'm sure he worked on it mentally, physically, and tonight he was back.
It is a Friday night. That means it is a Hungo Award, so we'll step aside for just a moment and send it back over to Pat Paris.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll look forward to that Hungo Award coming up a bit later on in the show. Albert Pujols' cousin Wilfredo Pujols spending a little time at Busch Stadium today, kind of taking in the sights and the sounds of the big league club. You remember the Cardinals drafted him in the 6th round after playing high school ball at Fort Osage High School here in Missouri. Now, Wilfredo ended up playing for Johnson City a couple of weeks, and he hit 143 driving and 4 RBIs. Now, Will told me that he's going to be working out with Albert this off season, and he hopes to take in a little bit of what Albert has done and maybe have some of that rub off on him.
It's great. I mean, ever since Albert joined and I got to see how they practice and everything and how they do things, I wanted to be here too one day. So, I mean, I worked hard, and Albert helped me a lot. And, I mean, he led me here. So, I mean, it was my destiny to come here. I'm glad I got drafted, first of all, and second of all, I'm glad I got drafted by the Cardinals because, I mean, you know, it was a dream come true. Especially now, I got a chance. I'm in the door. Maybe I can just go through the hallway and reach the big leagues now.
Kaz Ishii and Shingo Takatsu also in town with the Mets this weekend, and Cards outfielder Sotaguchi has to deal with extra Japanese media attention. His home country media members not only talk to him before and after every game, but they also talk to his Cardinal teammates.
You know, So it's all for So, and you know, So is doing a great job for us, and you know, whatever we can give back to him, we definitely will.
What do they ask you?
Well, they were talking about the injury. They were talking about 2001 World Series, and they also was talking about getting an opportunity possibly to go back again. So, yeah.
And they give you a gift.
And they gave me a gift, and I don't remember what it said. I'm gonna make up something, and it's So Joe. I don't think that's it. No, that's not it. Something like that.
Sunday play of the day. Top of the 4th, Cards leading 1-0 runner on first and 2 outs. Victor Diaz is going to ground it towards third. Abraham Nunez, the diving stop, steps up and throws over to first to get the out. An outstanding effort by Abraham Nunez. You heard Tony La Russa talking about Abe Nunez and what he's done and what he's meant for this team all year long. He earns our Hyundai play of the day. Welcome back to Busch Stadium after the Cardinals win over the Mets. The Kerber Company Hungo Award. That's not just any award, it's the award. Of course, Al Hrabosky thinks about it long and hard all week. This week, there are so many candidates. Let's go back upstairs. Dan and Al are standing by to present this week's Hungo Award.
Final telecast of the week. It's time for the Hungo Award presented by Kerber Roofing. There's Marlon Anderson still in that Cardinal uniform. And tonight, Al, we turn it over to a rookie. with a big night yesterday.
Well, last night he comes as a pitch hitter. The first pitch he sees, he hits his first major league home run. That's got to be a big thrill, but nothing compared to the thrill of getting his first Hungo Award. Brought to you by Kerberg Roofing. So, I mean, you got your home run in the book, but now you got your home run, or you got your Hungo on the mantle. Which could be better?
Well, I don't know. You're right. I mean, it was a big home run that put the game out of reach for the Cardinals yesterday, and it was a game in which Chris Carpenter picked up his 21st win. So I'm sure Chris Carpenter had a chance at the Hungo Award, too.
Well, he definitely did, but, you know, I mean, he's been racking up too many of them. You know, Larry Walker could have got it tonight, but getting your first Major League home run is a special thrill, and hopefully John Gall will get many, many more wearing that Cardinal uniform.
All right, congratulations to John Gall. That does it for us. Our next telecast is when, Al? Is it, what, Monday?
Monday.
Tonight's Friday, right?
I think,
okay,
yeah.
so it's Saturdays. Okay, yeah, Monday. We'll see you Monday.
All right, guys, can't hardly wait. We'll see you on Monday. The Pirates come to town. Right now, we want to send it to a commercial break. Back with your phone calls. Brent Stover's going to join me. 1-888-RING-FOX. Stay with us on MS.
You see guys struggle for that long of time, and you know they get sent to the bullpen, sent down. But the belief they had in me definitely gave them that extra confidence to get through, and you know, I'm glad they did.
Did you think you were going to finish today?
Excuse me?
Did you think you were going to finish? You were out there.
It would have been nice, but obviously we got the win, and that's what it comes down to. You know, I went out there, tried to give my team a chance to win, and you know, it was good for Izzy to get out there and get a big save.
You're getting used to these 9-inning games. I guess you just figured 3 in a row, right?
No, I wasn't figuring anything. Like I said, I go out there for as hard as I could, for as long as I could, and hopefully we come on the upside.
Is it an approach or is it a rhythm that you found here in the last?
I think it's a matter of both. Like I said, the approach is getting ahead early with my sinker, not fooling around early. I've been getting a lot of first pitch strikes. Like I said, it's been enabling me to expand the zone or get a lot of first pitch groundouts. But also mechanically and, like I said, my rhythm of my delivery feels right on. I'm able to make that pitch, which is allowing me to get those results. He played a great defensive third base, not only tonight, but every night. Every time he's anywhere, he's at second, short, or third. The guy's making plays left and right, and we're glad to have him over here.
We've seen that double play just to get out of that inning.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great play. He made a good pick to his backhand, and you know, Looney made a good turn.
What are you thinking when Larry launches that ball? What's going through your mind?
You know, obviously, with the 3 guys coming up, you know one of those 3 would come through, and that's what makes this team so great. Everybody's always picking each other up.
I know that, I mean, it's been a while now since the streak or the winless streak ended, but to now have the repetition, to go out there once, twice, now 3 times, and see the results to go with it. I mean, how nice, or I don't know if relief is really the right word, but just to see it happen.
I think more the results than anything. I mean, through that streak, I did throw some good games, and you get lost in that, especially when there's no W's put on the board. And obviously, ultimately, that's what it comes down to. So definitely getting the results in these games definitely is helping my confidence a little bit.
Tony was talking, too, just about your body language being good. I mean, a couple mistakes tonight and some runs getting that maybe shouldn't have, and he said that it just looked like it didn't phase you at all.
Well, I'm learning to control that part of my game because that's one part I can control. And, you know, with guys on base in the past, I used to be too perfect and try to make a perfect pitch every time. Now I'm trying to go out there and approaching it like there's nobody on base, making a pitch down in the zone, get ahead early, and let them put the bat on the ball and let my defense make some plays.
You're able to take some of that, the mental aspect from Carp. I mean, you say that, you know, when you were following him earlier in the year, that you'd watch what he did because you've got similar styles. Have you been able to take any of that mental stuff from him, too?
I don't think it's only Carp, because obviously Carp's done a great job all year, but we got 3 other guys. When things go bad, you can't tell that. You know, with Mulder, Soup, and Mo, and obviously Carp, you know, you got 4 guys who've been around for a long time and know things are going to go bad. You're not going to go 33-0 and have a 0 ERA. So when things like that happen, you got to just step back and, you know, approach the hitter. Don't worry about what happened. You know, worry about the next batter.